the power of the divine feminine energy remind us always that true strength lay in vulnerability and receptivity. This is a phenomenal subject, the divine power of, actually, let me rephrase that, the power of divine feminine energy, what we call in the yogic tradition Mahashakti, or kundalini Shakti, or the Divine Mother. It's a phenomenal subject, yet needs to be demystified, because a lot of people are confused about what really is divine feminine energy and how does it manifest, and is it inside of me, or I'm a male, do I have it too? So, beloved, the divine feminine energy has been around forever. It is the manifestation of the creative, primordial life force energy. Everything you see around in the cosmos is our power, it's our grand empowerment. And you may call it divine feminine energy or kundalini Shakti or divine mother, they're synonymous, or just Shakti. And it's not a religion, it's not a philosophy, it's not a doctrine. It is a science that is part of the yogic tradition that I have been tested and observed for thousands and thousands of years by the Maharishi, the great sages throughout different spiritual tradition, but within the yogic tradition. And so the misconception about the divine feminine energy, especially for male in particular, you always, not some of you, but many of you, I would say the populace, confuse that it is related only with the gender of the feminine gender as a female, but it cannot be further from the truth. Because within our own self, regardless if you in the male body or the female body, regardless of your gender, we have a subtle body. Devi Ma talked about that many times, and it in depth in the program, Becoming the Light Inner Journey Mastery program, because the subtle body is also very fascinating, because we all have it, regardless of your gender, and at the very core, also at the root of the Muladhara. Muladhara is the first, well, not the first in terms of number, because there's 114 chakra, but of the 7 most important one, it would be the first most important is the Muladhara, is at the root base, where the bone, the sacred bone, is at the bottom of the spine. It is coil like a snake. The iconography of it is like a snake. So that's why the Maharishi called it the goddess, the serpent goddess. And you see this iconography also in the yogic tradition. And it's interesting from one tradition to even a religious tradition, how the meaning of the iconography of a snake could be so opposite. One in religion represents evil, and in the yogic tradition, it represents the ultimate of self-realization, of liberation, of enlightenment. So the serpent goddess, the quail, but literally, let's look back. Divine feminine energy is Shakti. Every human beings have it at the very root of the Muladhara. The question is it activated or not? And is it ascended or not? Now, within the physical body, we have over 74,000 nadi. And I explained that in depth in the program, but without going into long explanation, the most important nadi is the Shushumna, where the energy passes through. It is in the hollow of the spine, and then you have the Ida and the Pingala, which are the two most important nadi. The reason I bring them up is because one side is feminine, one side is masculine. See, beloved, those two principles, we see them in the universe, animated. Everything that brings about this cosmos, this manifestation, is the play of Shiva Shakti. Shiva, in terms of principle, divine masculine energy, is pure consciousness, what we call Nirgun Brahma, that which that is not. Shiva, which is a principle of pure consciousness that is omnipotent, omnipresent, is always there. And then the primordial force, the creative power energy of Shakti, which means empowerment, means the great empowerment where it manifests. And so it's a manifestation. And that divine feminine energy is, you can see it at work in the universe. In terms of quality, you would say creative. Everything you see is Shakti in the universe. So in terms of quality, it's nurturing, caring, loving, compassionate, especially creative, intuitive, benevolent. So those are the quality. So when Shiva Shakti in the cosmos manifests as one, that's what sustained the whole animation of this cosmos, to bring about the manifestation of the physical realm. And that is how we experience this world. Like they are like two opposites. When they married each other, we have this creation. So that's how the Maharishi saw it throughout the ages. They were far, far advanced when it comes to science. They could see quantum physics up front thousands of years ago, how everything, the working of the cosmos. Now, our body temple is a reflection, a play of Shiva Shakti, so to speak, with the subtle body. But prior, I continued on that. What I wanted to say is when Shiva Shakti merge, you see it at forces everywhere in the universe when new stars are being born, nebula. Everything you see that is observed in the cosmos is a play of those two forces together that create the animation of the physical realm. So within our own physical body, we also have the feminine on the left side and the masculine. So we both have, regardless of your gender, and this is where is the one of the demystification is often it's a lot of people think, oh, divine feminine energy, is this a feminist movement or is it related to feminism, or they associate it with gender? But if you look back thousands and thousands of years in the history of our planet, you would see that probably in the time of the Paleolithic and Neolithic time, they were worshipping the divine feminine energy. You can even see it in art, and it's recorded throughout anthropology and art history, and they have a lot of proof that they were tribes, matriarchal society, where they grew and they thrive with divine love and peace and nurturing, and they live in peace and harmony with Mother Earth. And the whole energy of those tribes were more in harmony with the divine feminine energy. And it went on like that for many thousands of years until probably, I'm not sure exactly, but maybe in the Middle Ages, we can know for sure. We have record throughout the Middle Ages, right before the Renaissance, how many patriarchal society, religious, patriarchal, who have come and destroy and made an attempt to destroy completely the divine feminine energy because it was a threat for them. And you see that very much so into the Middle Ages, where they burn to the stake so many women who were tantrika. They were very advanced spiritually. They were on the path of tantra, and they had acquired siddhi, spiritual power, and it happened they were women because they were more in touch with that energy. And it's true, also some men, you could be more in touch with your divine feminine energy. It varies from individual, and it's true also you could be a female being, a soul, a spirit into the female body, and not being in touch at all with the divine feminine energy within you, but be dominated more by the masculine energy. So one or the other doesn't matter, you're out of balance. And this is a profound subject we will discuss further, because at the root cause of spiritual unfoldment and self-realization, because the true marriage, the true supreme lover is within. It is the whole journey of spiritual realization, and the true marriage is exactly when kundalini ascend, kundalini Shakti ascend, pierce all through the 7 main chakra and reach Sahasrara, the 1000 petal lotus chakra, which is the 114 right above your head, where Shakti, Kundalini Shakti meets Shiva. When they are completely in balance into an harmonic marriage, that is the true divine power that you have, beloved. This is when there's full, complete self-realization, full enlightenment, complete balance. So you see, now you're starting to understand that some individuals are completely out of balance. Either they dominated too much by the divine feminine energy, or too much by the divine masculine energy. Neither one is good, because you're out of balance. I remember in my days, many decades ago, many were saying, Devi Ma, you're pure embodiment of the Divine Mother. But I had too much divine feminine energy. I needed more of the Shiva energy, the divine masculine, meaning categorized by a different quality, such as conquering, destruction, capability. It's necessary in the universe. They're not bad quality. None of those values are good or wrong. We cannot put a judgment value on them. They all serve a purpose in the manifestation of the cosmos. So is in our own self-realization, our own spiritual path. The question is, which one is dominating more? Do you have too much masculine energy? Too much of it, and more like illogical? You can categorize it also by logic, by driven, all of those qualities that the mind, the masculine mindset embody. It's a mindset, set of value. You follow what Devi Ma means? So it's a very profound subject. We can't discuss every nuances, every aspect in this short video, but so the divine harmonic marriage happen within yourself, and the true demystification of the divine feminine energy is that you have it within yourself. And what is the major grave challenge we're facing on the planet now is to bring the divine feminine energy, because as you know, many of you are aware that our planet has been for over 4,000 years or more, has been completely ravaged by patriarchal society, has destroyed so many tribes, so many species of animal. So it's always the weakest one who are affected. The animal, the women, in terms of physicality of the gender, the elder, and certain tribe where you see inequality. If you look back and you know about history, you will see, the conquistador, when they came in Europe and they conquer and they tried to demolish and destroy all that was representative of the divine feminine energy. And you see some remain of it. I traveled a lot prior to the pandemic, and I was so happy and so pleased to see in Europe there's still a few small churches that are completely devoted to the Virgin Mary, or in Mexico, like Guadalupe, the Virgin Mary, they worship the divine feminine. And in India, of course, India is the place where the divine feminine energy is the most worshipped. But it's lacking on the planet. We need to bring back balance, because it's a great challenge we're having. If we continue the way we are, look at the destruction. And now, I don't need to go into long detail, as so many of you are aware of what's happening with climate change, with farm factories, all the incredible abuses and neglect done on our environment and the soil, how the soil has been destroyed and depleted. Because you see, beloved, we're all interconnected. When you hurt something, you can't expect that or drink poison. You can't expect someone else will be affected. It will always go back to you. It will always go back to us. And we have a collective karmic consciousness too. So as a consequence, all of us will suffer on the planet. The animals are suffering. So bringing back the Divine Mother energy is the utmost important cry right now. That's why spiritual awakening is so important, to bring all of you back into balance, to bring this harmonic, divine, sacred marriage within your own being. So yes, if you look back, they have so many proof of all those beautiful, powerful women who were self-realized and so powerful in their own way. And those patriarchal societies saw it as a big threat. And really, they almost demolished the entire divine feminine energy on our planet. But now it's beautiful. There's a revival of it. So be part of it. And the best way to be part of it is to come to a commitment on your spiritual path that I'm going to be committed to awaken fully without seeking enlightenment as we talk. Just seek to grow spiritually, to offer yourself to the Divine Mother so you can contribute to raising consciousness. You see what I mean? So that's the first step. That naturally, and second, for your own good, for your own happiness, for your own mastery, your own empowerment, and your own transformation, so you could be a more joyous being, and you could be a fulfilled being and a blissful being, and you could radiate light everywhere you go, and that divine feminine energy is emanating from you. So that means helping the animals, doing seva, it means, or with the children, or it could be any causes, or the environment, because we're all interconnected. So either the soil or the tree or the sea, helping with our sea, our ocean. There's so many causes, and all of that manifests itself in divine feminine energy of really caring, of really nurturing. See, a mother always care, always nurture. A healthy mother, a balanced mother, will care, will love, will deeply love, will do anything with unconditional divine love. So together, let's raise the consciousness. Let's bring about the revival of the divine feminine energy, because Mother Earth, for its own survival, beyond the survival, for its own thriving, for the generation, for our children and their grandchildren. Let's do it together. Are you willing? Is so needed. Think of it, for thousands and thousands of years of patriarchal society, of conquering and destruction. Time is now for divine feminine energy to ring and bring back the balance, so we can all live in harmony, and our children and grandchildren can live in peace, in joy, in their true nature, and embrace every living being as their own, as the Divine Mother. Om Namah Shivaya, and Jai Ma, Jai Mahadevi.